Hello. So, this person's name is coming. Um, my father's eldest brother. It is not surprising that he conspired to ruin my life in Karachi American School and elsewhere. Because his my grandmother was very, very wicked, and simultaneously this video is voice against child molestation. My childhood, when my grandmother was in Karachi, it was very, very shocking. However, I didn't show any signs of disturbance or breaking down as a child should, and not want to go like later years. I didn't want to see, or even now when I think back, I have these repressions as these regressions, like a child would, in shock, and wouldn't want to go to this grandmother. God saved me and my mother from going crazy. Had I to tell her the whole story about my grandmother, where she was sending me, what she was doing, and how this would make me think that it's my fault, I'm a dirty girl. First of all, why would I keep forgetting that she was telling me to go up and take pleasure or enjoy yourself? Then she would call me down in the afternoon. This only happened in the afternoons. She would call my name, and thank God my parents didn't come. Otherwise, my mother would have gone crazy. I'm a very shy person, and I didn't even tell my mother when I was a child. I never told my mother about this. There are really, I learned in my childhood, very clever people, very wicked. And because my grandmother was jealous and possessive about her sons, and because her husband had gone away from her, and so she couldn't take her sons married and being loving husbands and all. So I got it the worst, I think. And my grandmother wanted me to become bad, like in Urdu we say badmash, So if you tell a child to go up and enjoy the molestation. So I'm sorry to shock some of you out there. Oh God. It was God and Nade Ali. Nade Ali saved me, and Allama Rashid Torabi's dua saved me. I could have fallen from the steps, could have died, could have become very, very mentally disturbed. Actually, we had those spiral steps. Oh my God. Diamond again. This is very, very shocking. But where did she learn this from? I mean, from childhood, she wanted me to become a bad person, get me molested, and then there were friends of this person, 4 or 5 friends sitting there laughing. And how come I never became so disturbed. I don't know. It's a miracle. That's why I survived. Actually, when I was 2.5 years old, my mother put me in a Irani Shia school, Auntie Leli Begum's, near our house. And I learned, she taught us Nade Ali. And so, thank God that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam helped my mother in her dream. They left for Dubai. Like Rasulullah said, if you do this, they will leave for Dubai for good. But then in London, they came for summer for long periods. And it's not good for me to be there, to have been there, because she had taught my cousin to harm me, abuse me, my male cousin. And so no one else in London, away from their influence. And like she had said, my grandmother and my uncle, that we will, no, actually both of them used to tell my mother that they would make my father get married again. And my grandmother used to tell my mother that she would separate her from her children. So, excuse me, they are very, very clever. From childhood, they make me think that this is my fault, even though they are the ones. And the way they do it, because you see, this is very, very scary, frightening. The child forgets that the grandmother has told her, go up and enjoy yourself. And then calling her back, and she can't tell her parents because she's very shy, and now she started to blame herself for this. And because of the environment my grandmother sent me, I learned bad words, and I learned to disrespect her. So I would abuse her, and then my mother would take me in her room and would burn me with a hot matchstick on my hand. Even then I couldn't tell my mother that it was my grandmother's fault. Although she knew, but she didn't know the extent, the length my grandmother had gone to harm me. And also thanks to my mother, late mother, for telling me she wouldn't allow me to get married into this family. And then thanks for that separation with Miss Dessa, I learned not to marry my cousin. And I picked myself up. And thanks to everyone who helped me become a better person and not become what my grandmother had wanted me to become, and the way my cousin had abused me. So you see, there are some things in life I just cannot take responsibility for because I was a minor, and the way I was taught and brought up. And then you have to separate yourself from that environment so that you don't get corrupted. And, you know, the environment, upbringing has an influence on us. Oh, yes, and thanks to God for Miss Dessa. I felt safe with her. I could love her purely, affectionately, and feel very safe about it. And so I realized what true love was. Pure affection. Although my mother was very affectionate towards me, and so was my father and my mother's family. My aunts would want to kiss me and all that, and I would not allow them. But I smothered Miss Disa with a lot of affections when she came to my house for my birthdays and get-togethers and a wedding. And now even His Highness Aga Khan is showing there's nothing strange or funny. It's absolutely normal and very good to meet your friends with affection, hold hands, hug each other. There's nothing wrong in that. And it's absolutely normal. And yes, back to my childhood. I had good childhood days too, with my teacher Masuma auntie in Auntie Leli Begum's school. I was given lots of love and affection and felt very safe there with my teacher Masuma auntie. Yes, and she told me once that I always was very shy, although I don't remember being shy, but I was shy and used to hold her pallu, dupatta's end. Yes, I remember having what she made, that aloo kasag, and I would be in the teacher's lounge with them. She would come out until Masuma auntie didn't come out for me in the morning. I would be in with my parents in the car until she came out and took me in. And although our principal and the owner of the school didn't allow, Auntie Leli Begum didn't allow pan, Masuma auntie had to take pan for me inside the school. So that part of childhood was really good. I was treated like a princess in Auntie Leli Begum's school.